Hey everyone, what's up? My name is Joss and welcome back to my channel squibblesreads. Today I'm going to be sharing with you some of the August selections for the Book of the Month subscription box. And if you guys are not familiar with Book of the Month, I've been subscribed to them for about a year and a half and they are definitely one of my favorite boxes. Every month they have 5 judges and one of them is usually a celebrity guest judge, and each of those judges will pick one book. So you have 5 books to choose from and you will definitely know what you get because you are picking your book for that month. And if you don't like any of the selections, you can always skip that month. The books that the judges pick are typically new releases from that month or the month before, and you get your first month for $9.99 and then every month following that is $14.99. You can also choose up to 2 more books to include in your box for only $9.99 each, so you're definitely getting a great price on some new release hardcover books. Each of the judges do choose one book and they'll tell you in the little blurb that they send you at the beginning of the month why they chose that book and what they like about it, and if you end up not liking any of the books that month, you can always skip that month and then your fee will just roll over to the next month. And because you are the one choosing the book in your box, you will definitely know what's coming in the mail, which I know is different from a lot of other sub boxes out there. So if you guys have been on my channel for a while or since like before I took a break from BookTube, you will know that every time I do an unboxing or share a subscription box with you guys, it's always something that I personally really like. And also to have a more comprehensive view of the box, what I do is I film the unboxing part first and show you guys what is in the box or what I chose, and then I will go and read the book, and then I'll come back either later that day or a few days later and I'll review the books that came in the box, just so you guys have a better view of everything that's going on there. So for the August Book of the Month selections, again, like I mentioned, they had 5 books to choose from and I chose 2. So here is my box and let me open it up and show you guys what's inside. Okay, so the first book that I chose is Eat Only When You're Hungry, which is a novel by Litsy Hunter. So this book is a story about a family. We have our main character, Greg, who is a 58-year-old man, and he is pretty overweight. And he goes on a journey across Central Florida to find his son, GJ, who is an addict. I've heard that this book talks a lot about stigma in society that people place on people who are overweight and also people who have addictions. I've heard that this book is really introspective into Greg's own life, and he starts taking a look at the ways that he has been a father and a husband and the way that he relates to food and different patterns of emotional eating. I've heard this book is amazing. It is a really short little book, but I've also heard that the writing is really, really good. So the next time that you guys see this book, I will be reviewing it in just a few minutes here. Okay, so the second book that I chose is Fierce Kingdom by Jen Phillips, and this is a book that I've been waiting for quite a while. It is a thriller and it's about a mom named Joan and her son named Lincoln. Lincoln is 4 years old and they go on an outing to the zoo to play and have fun, and it is about closing time at the zoo. And they see a man with a gun and they become really terrified, and the book turns into a fight for their lives and trying to hide from this person and stay safe. Some of the topics that I think it talks about is like how far are you willing to go to protect your child, and this also sounds a little bit like claustrophobic and frenetic because I think it takes place over the course of a little bit over 3 hours. So this is a thriller premise that I haven't really heard of before, which is really exciting because I know that thriller tropes tend to be reused over and over again, but this is something that I haven't really heard of a ton in books, which I think is really great. So again, the next time that you see this book is when I will be reviewing it in a few minutes. So to quickly talk about the other books that were options in Book of the Month this month that I didn't choose, one of them I actually had the ARC in my last haul a couple of videos ago, and that is Little and Lion by Brandy Colbert. There's also another book called The Blinds by John Sternberg, and this is like a Western thriller, I think. And then the 5th book is the Liberty Hardy pick, and you guys know that I love Book Riot, and Liberty Hardy is on staff at Book Riot, and she's part of the All the Books podcast, which I listen to every week, but this is her pick and it is the new John Boyne novel. So I didn't pick any of those 3, and the 2 that I showed you are the 2 that I got this month. So yeah, the next time you see me will just be in a few seconds here, and it will be a clip from when I have read and reviewed these books. Hey guys, so I'm back with my reviews of Fierce Kingdom and Eat Only When You're Hungry. I did manage to finish both of those books, and both of them are actually really quick reads. Eat Only When You're Hungry is around 250 pages and Fierce Kingdom is just under 300 300, so I did blow through both of them really quickly. So the first book I'm going to review is Fierce Kingdom. This actually, I did not know this when I read the blurb, but this is actually written in present tense. It's still in third person, but it is in present tense, which made it a little bit strange for me to get used to at the beginning, but I think once I got used to it, it got a little bit better. It was still a little bit awkward for me. And I hypothesized that what the author was trying to do was kind of create that sense of urgency that I was talking about. And in the little blurb that's on the Book of the Month website, it says that it's really adrenaline fueled, and I did get the feeling from the way that it was written, but I'm not sure that writing it in present tense helped it out all that much. I did read some more reviews of this book on Goodreads and on Amazon, and some people were commenting on how some of the decisions that the mom in this book, Joan, made were not the greatest decisions. But I was thinking it when I was reading it and she was making some of these decisions that I didn't necessarily agree with. If I was in that situation and I was fueled by primarily adrenaline, would I have made the best decisions myself? I can't say that I would have, so I don't think I'm going to decrease my personal rating of this book based on the decisions that she made. But I think what is stopping me from rating it any higher than I will is just the fact that the present tense was a little bit awkward. Further on in this book, they did introduce some side characters that were not Joan and her son Lincoln, and I thought that when they first introduced them, it just threw us right into their storyline, and I was a little bit confused. I don't necessarily think that adding them helped all that much with the storyline, and I think that if it had just focused on Joan and Lincoln, it would have been even more insular and even more claustrophobic. So I'm not sure that the side characters did all that much. Overall, if you're just looking for a fast read with a new premise, I definitely would recommend this, but with the present tense and the side characters, I think that detracted from what I think the author was trying to do, if that makes any sense. So I think I will give this one 3.5 stars. Okay, and then the second book that I got was Eat Only When You're Hungry by Litsy Hunter. This actually really surprised me. I think that it did a really good job at explaining the cycle of addiction and all the different feelings and subsequent actions that can come during that cycle. And the depth and all the details that she added really helped me as a reader to develop a sense of empathy for the characters. I think that was one of the things that was especially challenging for me as a reader, is because some of the decisions that the characters made in this book were not the greatest decisions, which was frustrating. However, because of the depth of emotions that the author managed to drum up in me, I think my only course of action was to have some empathy for these characters, which I totally did. Again, like I hypothesized when I was going through the blurb of this book earlier, is that there is a lot of stigma in society around people who are overweight and around people who have addictions and who have mental health challenges. And I think that this book does a really good job at exploring some of the ways that people can view people with these challenges have, and all the different frustrations that that type of stigma can create, and thus some of these subsequent actions and decisions that the characters have. This book was also really introspective because Greg is 58 years old and he's looking kind of a little bit back at his life and how he got to where he is now. I thought that those discussion points were something that I'm really going to take away from this, and even though the plot again is pretty simple, I think that there are a lot of points that I'll be thinking about for a long time with this one, and I'm gonna give this 3.75 stars. Okay, so that is my review for both of the books that I got in my August Book of the Month. If you guys have read either of these books, or if you're interested in any of the other books that were selections that I didn't choose, please let me know. And again, if you have any comments, questions, or anything else, please leave them down below. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.